Good afternoon. What we're going to do today is I want to transplant some flowers that we started in the basement about a month ago. I've got grow lights set up, a stand, a station, and all in my basement. And I like to start a lot of things there first and then transplant them. What we're going to plant today is I've got from Johnny's Seed Company these McKenna Giant Mix Columbines. They're beautiful flowers. The plant will get about 28 to 36 inches tall and about 28 inches wide. It'll have big, beautiful blooms, multiple colors, about 3 inches across. So what I'm going to do now, real easy, is I'll show you the ones that we had planted. And here's what we're going to transplant today. Like I said, I start them in my basement, 2 seeds per container, and I've got about 6 of them today that I'm going to transplant. I've got a couple of daughter-in-laws that love some beautiful flowers and have asked me if I would plant some for them, so that's what we're going to do. I've got a bunch of these pots. I keep them all the time. Anytime that I see pots on sale, I always have to buy a few. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to start out by putting just a few stones in the bottom, which helps with drainage. Doesn't need a lot, just 4 or 5. These pots actually have a little bottom recessed on them and they do drain pretty well. But I put a little bit of rocks in there. Doesn't matter which kinds. And then I'll take from that, let me do a couple and have them ready. I think we'll do probably 2. That'll be enough to show you how to do them. And then I'll probably plant the rest a little bit later. I think I'm going to use this big one for my wife's plant because I know she wanted one for our patio. But all I do is take a little bit of potting soil and put in here first. And I kind of show you, how much I'm putting in there, a little bit. And I'll take my tool. I have a really cool knife that my youngest son got me. And I don't know, I think you can get these at Home Depot, Lowe's. A great tool for planting. It helps get you a nice little hole buried there for the plants. I'll take this and kind of tip it up. Like I say, you've got 2 plants in here, so I split them very carefully. You don't want to damage the roots, but very carefully split them. I'll put one back in this pot, drop this one here, finish filling it with a little bit of potting soil all the way around. What I tend to do is press with the backs of my hands so that I don't damage the plant. And you really don't want the soil up any higher than where the root ball was in your pot when you were planting the seedlings. You don't want it up on the stem. You want it right where it was before. Any higher than that, you'll kind of rot the stems. So get it nice and level. Pack it down, and then we'll water that one in a couple of minutes. I'll do one more here real quick for you. I take my potting soil and put it usually in a bucket. It's a little easier to work with. Some of this is soil that I've taken from my garden, and some of it's potting soil which I bought from the local Home Depot or Lowe's. Very carefully, as I said, take them out, put them in. You don't want to bury them too deep, but you want to cover up that root ball. Pack it down nice and tight. You don't want any air under the roots. That's the reason you always want to pack them really nice and tight. So real quick, I'll grab a little bit of water here. It's simple and easy to do. You want to keep this good and moist for the first couple of 2-3 days that you've transplanted them. And on the back of your seed packages, it'll give you all the information you need as far as how long to set them out in the sun. Are they shade? Are they light shade? Are they full sun? These particular plants like partial sun. They don't really like a full all day in the sun. But these are going to be beautiful plants. We'll come back and I'll show you what they look like when they're about yay high and have some beautiful flowers on them. So have a great afternoon.